Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. I trust that your day has been good, and I'm happy to have you go right ahead and start sharing the link so that we can have other persons knowing that we are on. We're happy to be here another Wednesday as we continue to strive and to thrive, to be and to become a better version of ourselves. Also, understanding that mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. And we have to be honest with ourselves if we want to become and to be a better version of ourselves. This week, we are ready to explore a whole lot of things. And let me get right into the highlights before we invite our guests. So we want to know, I realize that most of the times we give love how we want to receive love. I don't know if you know what your love language is, what how you give love and how you want to receive it. I'm not sure if you know, but we are going to look at tips in finding love. I'm sure a lot of persons want to find love, and after they find it, they still want to know how to keep their love life, their marriages going. And we are going to look at all of these things tonight. We want to know how someone can prepare themselves or how should they prepare themselves for marriage. Yeah, we know that most people want to get married, right? Yes, so we want to know that. Sometimes you hear persons, especially ladies, say that they keep attracting the wrong guy. So they want to know how to stop attracting the wrong guy and start attracting the right person that is for them. We want to identify also, we don't want to only be one sided, we want to look too at the male's perspective on how they can find their suitable match, their fit, their wife material. And some things we will not say, but it will come out here tonight, we know. And we want to welcome Mr. Gerald Stewart. I know you are happy to have him or you're happy to see him. He has been married for over 20 years. He's a minister, he's a preacher, he's a teacher. He has a passion to inspire and to motivate other persons and to encourage other persons. And I'm sure that is why you love hearing him too. He has a wealth of knowledge. He's very charismatic and jovial and fun loving. So whenever he's in your presence, you are just happy and merry. And that is what I love too. So help me welcome Gerald Stewart.
Thank you. Thank you, lady.
Hello,
Thank
Mr.
you, lady.
Stewart. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Lady McNeil. It's really a pleasure to be here tonight with you on this program. I am as excited as you are because I know, as you said, there's a lot of stuff that will come out that will be both humorous and informative because I guess sometimes that's the best way you're gonna remember some of the stuff that you will be actually getting. And I look forward to having a wonderful time here tonight on this program. And at the end of the day, I am definitely hoping that somebody's life would be made better and choices that they would have been making before they would stop, think about it before they actually make these choices because they would understand the repercussions of making certain choices. So let us just fellowship tonight and we see exactly how it is that what we can do to make our lives as Christians and even non-Christians better as it relates to relationship and love and marriage. Amen.
So true, indeed, indeed. And if you have not yet subscribed, I'm going to ask you to please do so. Just hit the word subscribe and go ahead and subscribe so that whenever we go live, whenever I post videos, you will know that I post something. And also, we are building a great network over here, Broken to be Blessed. network. We thank God for vision. And we want to get right into it. So, we want to start with how do one prepare themselves for a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship. We look at courtship and what it is and dating and all of those stuff. So now we want to see what are some of the things that someone needs to do to prepare themselves for that race or that life of marriage. What would you say to us, Mr. Stewart?
All right. Um, I don't know if this is going to be what a lot of persons are expecting to hear, but truth be told, uh, it doesn't matter how much books you read, it doesn't matter how much seminaries you go to, it doesn't matter how much a wealth of information that you would try to garner as a single person uh, in preparation for marriage. The truth is, nothing prepares you for marriage like marriage. So, in essence, what I am saying, even with all the information that you will be getting and what you're expecting or what you're thinking should be happening as it relates to your personal relationship with your spouse and the sexual relationship and communication and financial aspects and all of that, because life is of such is that things happen that are unexpected. The only thing that can prepare you for marriage is I would say is a level of maturity. And we said it in the session before about accepting oneself and making sure that you're okay with yourself as a person before you get into marriage. But I would say that with all that you can read, make sure that you are matured before you get into marriage, because when you get there, I mean, it's like you're going to be on a freeway and you can't get off, and you have to constantly be moving. So that's the time when you're going to try to get matured, chances are you'll end up in serious problems. So of course, I don't have a problem with persons getting all the information that you can get as it relates to going into marriage. Because, I mean, knowledge, of course, knowledge is power, right? And if you get enough, chances are when you come upon some things, you'll be able to at least decipher out what is happening and try your best to work with it. But apart from being matured, and because I'm not just talking to Christians now, we are persons who are out there, because marriage is not just for Christian people, marriage is for everybody. You have to make sure that you have a level of maturity, because I have seen marriages just tear apart because persons are immature and the expectations that they had, some simple immature expectation, something that you read in a book, and you go into marriage expecting that this, as a matter of fact, let me make a point going into marriage. And this is something that I learned when I was very young, that if you go into marriage expecting to get somebody to make you happy, you are going to fail. It's not going to work out. If you go, and this might sound strange, because of course everybody getting into marriage, you want somebody to I mean, as they say, full become one and fulfill and make you okay. But if you go into marriage and in your head you have an expectation that what I am going into marriage for is to get somebody to make me happy, so it's not going to work out well for you. But if you go with expectation and both parties go that I'm going to try my endeavor best to make the other party happy, I'm telling you, that is what works. If you say I am going to make the other person happy, not myself, because if you are, all you're going to be thinking about is what the person is going to do to make you feel better. But if you go in with the intention that my spouse, this person, everything that I do, and the spouse say the same thing, then and only then will it work. But otherwise from that, too bad. And
Because
again, I
we
go ahead, go
realize
ahead,
that
sister.
you mentioned expectation. We realize that that is one of the big, what would we call it? One of the thing that causes persons to maybe become disappointed because we
Yes,
know
yes,
you have an expectation. And as I mentioned earlier, that most of the times we give love or we want to receive it. And how we are socialized, maybe we get it from a book or we saw somebody or idea of what it should be. And as you mentioned, being mature enough to know that, hey, it's an on the job training and you're going to learn the things on the way, but
yes,
not everything, or your partner will not know everything. So adjusting that mindset and understanding that, hey, it's an on the job training and everything will not, you not know everything. So don't go with that expectation that it's going to be all that you think it's going to be or all that you want it to be. And then when it's not, then you're going to throw tantrum like a 5-year old.
yes. Um, One of the things that I want to point out also is that whenever I do counseling and two persons come and they are so in love and they are so excited and they want to get married, and first question I always ask, especially the man, why do you love her? Um, and they don't always string out a list of reasons why they love the person. And I would ask the female the same thing, and then I would smile. And I said, you love her because she's spiritual. You love her because she is beautiful. And oh, we just, I mean, we click and we can reason. And then I said, okay, if that's the reason why you love her. Suppose you married to her and she backslide. That's because she's a Christian. That eliminates love. If it's because she's beautiful, she meets in an accident and her face mash up, you're not going to love her anymore. And if it's her shape, time is going to take that away. I always say this is it. True love has no reason. And anytime you're married, I realize, and Samantha, I know you know now so you love your husband because there are days when him get for your nerves and you feel like, but you still remain with him. And that's the time when you know about love. As a matter of fact, I tell people, when you're single, you don't really truly know about love. It's when you get into it
Yeah.
and all kind of pressure start to happen and you still stay. And I said, boy, really must love, me really must love this as somebody because the fact that I'm still here and it's not because of a child or because I can't do better, but it's because there is something. And there's a great difference between the relationship you have with the Lord and the relationship you have with a spouse because whatever you do, God is always ready to forgive. And as a matter of fact, God knows what you were going to do before you did it. But with a spouse, a lot of times things happen, and either you're not ready to forgive or they're not ready to forgive, but you still have to still love the person because that is what love does. Love stands the test of time. And I also know within myself that if you truly love, as you say you do, the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. So whatever happens, you will try your best to work it out. And go back ahead now.
Okay. All right, so we are moving along. That's a mouthful, we can say. And I've heard this question before, persons, ladies especially, complaining why they keep attracting the wrong guy. Why is it that they're always, it's the same kind of person that they're meeting and they're drawn, the same kind of persons keep on drawn or being drawn to them. What would you say to that?
All right, I'm glad you brought that up because even right now, as we speak, I have maybe about 3 or 5 single ladies that I counsel, and that's what they always say. Why is it that them have kind of somebody always seem to like me or want to be in things with me? And the truth of the matter is, nobody can come in your life if you don't let them in. And if listen, As humans, people will do to you or come up to you in accordance to how they see you. So if you have a low esteem, and spirits are drawn to spirit, and if you have a low esteem, the truth is the spirit of a person that there are certain kind of people who are drawn to certain people. Samantha, truth is there are some people in church that, as a matter of fact, when men look at them, they are afraid to approach them because of how they see them, because of how they portray themselves. So, me not talk to that the one them. Me know me can't get through. So, but if you portray yourself in a particular way, a particular set of men will come towards you. But when you, it's about you. I mean, even as a man, sometimes some people are going to, I have heard married men say certain things, and I said, so wait, something wrong with me? Women sending you certain kind of things, certain messages, certain photos. I mean, I said, well, something wrong with me. But it's how you put, if you allow people to believe that they can do this or that's how it is. And the
Yes.
bar, how high you set your bar, that's it. Is that they'll set the bar very low. So people who are low will be attracted to them and get how, all right. A madman sees you on the road and in full of lyrics and he says certain things to you. Are you going to stop and give him your number and say, call me when you can? No, you walk past him. So it is that any guy can see you and say whatever they want to say. Who gives them your number that they start to communicate that you end up saying to yourself, how is it that I'm attracting these guys? Are you saying that most of who you meet are snake on the grass, or they pretend to be one thing, and after you get to know them, you realize that they are not that? But I'm saying to you, you let them in, you can shut them out. So you don't have to worry. Early out, if you're a praying person, especially as a Christian, you ask the Lord, show me who this man is early before my heart even start to go out, and make me lock him out before I get myself in problem. So it's you setting the bar as it relates to who gets into your life. Nobody else does. You set the bar.
It is in fact true because while you spoke of the how high the bar be, and I think I've heard Steve Harvey said it because that the ladies always ask Steve, and they would ask, and I think one of the things that he says that for a man, and we know that a man is a chaser, is a goer, is featuring, he's going, he is seeking. And he's always going, that is his nature, to always look and to see what he wants, what he likes. But wherever you set your fence, if that man sees you and is interested in you and wants you, he's going to come. And if your fence is just at your ankle level, so that he can just walk over on the other side, then he's going to come over it. But if it is that it is higher, at least high up to the roof, then that is where it is. And if your bar is so high, as Gerald would say, if your bar is that high, and if he's interested in you, he's gonna know what you stand for, and he knows that he's gonna take some amount of strength and effort, and for him to get to you. So I guess it's really dependent on the woman herself to know what she wants and know where her bar is for real.
Um, Funny you would say what you just said about men being in pursuit. It's in the nature of male, not just men. Even in the animal kingdom, the male are born hunters. There's something in us that tells us that we must, let's pursue, plunder, conquer, and then put something on our wall. You know that a lot of persons, even females, and I just need to say this, that all you are, and even very church brothers' wall is a trophy. So they hunt you until they get you, and when they get you and get what they want, then you are no longer um seen as something to be pursued. And I guess I went to a seminar. I did a seminar some years ago, and the seminar was how do you keep as married person, especially as men, the hunt going? How is it that because your husband was pursuing you. Your husband was pursuing you, and when he finally, after we get married, the pursuit is basically over. The hunt is over. Now you're mine. We capture you and you are in my. So, but how is it that I still can't? How, because we are born hunters. How is it that the pursuit with the pursuing continue? And if the wife doesn't know what to do to allow the husband to still continue pursuing, chasing after her, after a while, one next little youngster they go come and start tell him how him nice. I never know say you're nice. And I'm gonna be honest, as a married person, sometimes you're wondering as a man, wonder if me still have it in me, wonder if me still able to plunder and pursue and overcome and like David recover all as whatever it is. And somebody will come up to you and you don't really want them, you're not really interested in them, but something in you is saying, say a word and see if it still have the same effect that it had. I mean, like oh Caleb say, I still can take that mountain after 40 years. Can I still say something to a woman and it still have the same effect? And sometimes we get in trouble because we don't really mean it, but we're gonna say something, and it's something we're gonna say, still something in somebody else, otherwise than your wife, and before you know it, you end up finding yourself in a conversation, and if God don't hold your reins, you end up in problems. But what I am saying is that we as men, as high as you can set the bar, and I have a few friends that I have known from they were in their teens and now them in their 30s and they're not married. And I said, I love to trouble them and I said, obviously you have set your bar for pole vault, but all the men can do is high jump, and you can't do high jump without a pole vault without a pole. But you cannot run and jump over a pole vault that part. You're going to need a pole to and so the men are able to do high jump, but your bar is high for pole vault, so that's why no man, you don't get no man so far. Which I don't think so. If a man really want, he will make one ladder and go jump up. Put up a ladder, climb up to the height and jump over it. Even if he put broke when he dropped down, but at least he would have reached up there to you. Yes. So you can't set yourself too high that no man can. If he truly love you, he will get up there and find a way to get up there and reach you.
So true. And you hit on 2 points that I want us to really spend a little time on, because we have ladies who are married here too, I'm sure. And one of them is the fact that you said that if they get married, their husband featured them, and now they realize that that's not happening. That's not happening anymore. They are now like a trophy. He's not dating them anymore. He's not
Mhm.
telling them anything nice anymore. All of those things. What advice would you give to both the woman and the man, the husband and the wife? What can they do? What should they do?
All right. The word of God says love begets love. So if you are if I am not giving, that means, and as I said, if you the whole marriage thing was for me to make somebody happy. And after you've been married over a period of time, you're gonna know exactly what it is you can do to spice up the fire. And it gets harder over time because as you get older, your thought process change. A lot of things about you change. But one thing I know is that um in order for the hunt to continue, it is important that, especially for the wife, because you know us as men, we just want to see something near looking like or something. We don't really need much of anything. We just want to see something and we will dive in. But you have to do something to make sure that your wife understands that she's still attractive in a in your eyes. She's still the only one in the whole world, and it doesn't matter who come along. It doesn't matter who she see and who seem to like her husband. She's not going to be worried because she understands that she is her husband's world. And listen to me. If you can't keep the fire, I tell myself, any day I know I have a problem, if any day that I am not physically attracted to my wife anymore. Anyhow, I reach to the stage where she doesn't. make me feel like I would want to be with her. I'm in a problem. So it doesn't matter what issue is happening, I am supposed to still feel attracted to her. Now, as you ask the question, what it is as males and as females that we can do, I mean, surprise her as a woman. You make sure you surprise her. I mean, the whole dating thing where most people, I mean, believe after you're married, dating is over. Nobody be going out alone. And especially when children come into play, especially my two children, everywhere we go, they want to. So we have to take time sometimes and say, listen, tonight is with me and my wife, and Kara got somewhere special. No KFC, I know, we mean somewhere we can dine in fine style and we can make her understand that she still is and shall forever be first in my eyesight. And when I do that, make her feel extra special, then believe me, truth be told, when I go home, I don't really have to say much. I mean, I've already set the atmosphere, and it's not because I brought her out. And here is one thing I teach most of the young males when they are getting married. I said to them, most women believe after you're married to them for a while, and I'm just being candid now, that when you do certain things, you're expecting payment of a particular kind. So if you're extras, do anything extra special, you're expecting payment. So I say there are some things. Your wife work at a school. When you get the chance, you send her roses. Sometimes you can bring it yourself. You just pop in and bring her lunch or whatever. But I say it works best when it is done at a time when it's her time of the month. It works best that time because she's going to know that it's not something when you do it, it's not something you're looking for later. You're just doing it because she's that special. And I can guarantee you that when it's over and she remember that you did that, you're still going to get paid. If you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So anything, you have to know the type of person that you get married to. You know what the person likes and their dislikes. And for me, I don't really ask her. I don't ask for much.
But
I mean, I just want.
you mentioned being still being attracted to your wife. What if there's a male who was his wife and he's not attracted to her anymore because maybe she gained weight or she kind of not look. So we know we have that challenge too. Sometimes the women are hot and on fire before they get married, but when they get married, they kind of cool up, all up. So what
All right.
what can be done in a situation like that?
One of the things is if it again, it's necessary for you to accept yourself and whatever you're going to do for yourself, especially how you look. The wife should look at herself, and then of course there are men who constantly talk down and tell. I know some questions when they are asked, I don't answer, or you don't say anything because their answers is damned if you do and damned if you don't. But if it's up to the wife to keep up herself in a part, go to the gym. If your husband, all right, um, everybody who knows me knows me and my breast issue. And suppose question is if something happens and my wife should get cancer, God forbid, and she has to get rid of them or something. Is it that I'm not going to love her or be attracted to her anymore? No, I still have to go because we understand that this is what life brings. But um I'm going to say something that is going to sound very strange. In order for you to love a woman and live with her and not be attracted to her anymore, 90% of the time, if not 99%, is that there is somebody else that has taken that place. Sorry, I don't care what the man want to tell us. Say, boy, my wife will look good again. Actually, somebody else has stepped in and has taken the place physically of his wife, and now it every day it's going to happen that the amount is not going to be attractive to her because somebody else. I don't care what nobody want to tell you. Say 99% of the time when you hear a man say, "Boy, I'm not attracted to my wife again," and this and that, somebody else out on the street has taken the
Wow.
place of yes. It's simple. I'm not lying. That's the truth. If you ask men and they would be honest, they would tell you that yes, that is the issue. Why? No, I am not attracted to her anymore. I know of men who them married to their wife slimmer than you, and the wife become 300 and something pounds, and them still when you get them a talk about their wife, how they live with their wife. So it's more than about the physical, as it ever was. That's the reason why I said true love has no reason. Because if the love was based on external, I'm sorry, but when the external change over time, it's gonna be a problem. It doesn't always change for the better. Because some people say, "Oh, I've grown old gracefully." Some people, no grace at all when they grow old. Sorry, but that's just how it is.
So true. Oh my God. That what you said is just profound. Oh my God. If it is that the man is not attracted to his wife anymore, there's a high chance that somebody has taken
Mm,
that place.
that place, yes.
Wow. Not to mention if they're not
So
getting involved sexually. And
good. So and if as Janet always say, if you're not cockadoodling in the hen house, you're cockadoodling in the barn, whatever. So that means if you're not coming home, if you're still okay physically, and all your members are working, and you come home 1 week, 2 week as a man, and you know what? Nothing. No man, something wrong. It's either you're on the mount like Moses, or you hold a street, one or the two. So you have to decide what it is that would allow you. You know what? Nothing anymore. You and you are this and age. Yes, for any young men listening, yeah, I'm now almost 50. I'm still able, like Caleb. I'm still able. Sorry, nothing is wrong with me. So even when the wife goes, "Oh, my husband I get older now," so that's what. No, 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 no. And if he might get old and he need a little pill, why name Niagara or whatever, make him go find some of them I use. But you still should be able to.
to be able to. I tell
Yes.
you, so true, so true. It is true, and you find that a whole lot of persons really suffer in this department. They really suffer because when you look at even the things that we have said before, um, saying that you're not attracted to your wife or you're not dating your wife anymore because maybe of how you look and all of those stuff. You find that a whole lot of persons, and sometimes you mentioned too, when the children come in play,
Hmm.
children come, then persons start just parenting and nothing happens with their husband and their wife anymore. And that's one of the things that I believe that persons you have to find time for the marriage. You have to find time for the marriage and not just parenting and just coexisting and just living, but really taking time to water your garden because if you don't water the garden, it's sure gonna die.
Yes, and my daughter Johnny and my son sometimes them say it's especially when friends come over and say, all right, our house is more than PG. Because as most time, 90% of the time I walk past Janet, either I'm go kiss her or I'm go slap her on her butt or something, we just go do something. And they want to say, is this how it always is? And she said, yeah, so, oh, sorry to tell you, but this is how it always is. This is a part of how I actually have to keep my fire going. And if Janet said, not, Mr. What you want me to do? I'm going to go do it to somebody else. And you may have to do it too. Yeah, you may have to do it too. You may have to touch
So
her, kiss her, and yeah, yeah, you, because this is a part of who I am. And if I don't do it to you, we go do it to somebody else. So guess what? Let me do it to you. That's how it is.
it is. I tell you, it's really that's how it is.
And it's your true love life is not holding hands out on the street and when you come at church and smile in your matching suit and that's not it. It's what asks your children. And as a matter of fact, when you go to any, this is something that I know, when you go to any persons who are married, when you go to their house, you actually can feel the atmosphere and know if there's love there. If there's love there, you can actually feel it. And if there's animosity there, you go feel it in the atmosphere. They don't have to say nothing, but you can feel, you go into certain homes and you just feel love. And then certain homes, boy, oh boy.
Mm.
So that's just how it is.
Tell you. Oh wow. It's just a whole lot when we think on this topic. So we talk about
Oh,
not
yes.
attracting the stop attracting the wrong one. What should they do to attract the right one?
All right. So now there's a word in the book in the Bible that says, you go seek first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added. So now when you set the bar, and you're not going to set it in such a way that it's impossible to be reached. But early out when you meet somebody, you're going to make them. You have to make people know what you stand for. If persons don't know what you stand for, they will deal with you in accordance to how they see you. So in order to attract the right person that meet you in yourself have to send off the right aura. You have to send off the signal that listen, I am only. I had a conversation last week with a person that I have been counseling for maybe about 7 years now. And she come to the consensus now that there's no man in church anymore. So she's dating a sinner.
Mm.
And even though I said to her, I know exactly where this is going to go. You go end up in a serious issue. She said, no, it's not going to happen. Well, I know it's going to go there if it continues. Because as I said on the first program I was on, if you truly love a man, and your heart goes out to him, he's the only one that can stop certain things from happening. Because when he touches you, you're going to melt and you're not going to be able to help yourself anymore. And it's not that he's going to force you into it. Because just like Dinah in the Bible, Israel's daughter, I don't think that man forced her. She see him and love him and she go into him and whatever happen, happen. No, if you set a bar to say, well, there's no men in church, which I know for sure, especially if you're a career woman, and I don't think you wanted to touch this topic tonight, but if you're a career woman and you have made certain things in life, it's like you already have set a bar, and most men are intimidated by intellectual women in church. I don't know why. And if you have, it's like I know some women will flaunt whatever they have as it relates to their accolades and where they went to and what they have and their career. But for the most part, most women it's just for them a part of life. But men get intimidated by such things. But be known that if as a woman you allow people in general when you meet them to know that this is the type of person that I am. Some men will not put in any. Listen, if you have a job opening at a place and when you see they say a bachelor's degree in this amount of years of experience and the list, there's some people that cannot apply. There are some jobs that maybe I can do, but I can't apply because I don't fill the necessary criteria. So guess what? If you put it out there, it's not that you're gonna put it out on Instagram or wherever to say, okay, I'm looking at a man, and these are your lifestyle, the way you live, the way you talk, the way you dress. Is people will know how you deal with people. People will know that guess what? This person is not approachable. I can't. Some men will say, "Guess what? No, me, I don't fit. I, the resume that she has, she couldn't fit with me. So guess what? I have to leave her alone." So it's not that you were actually attracting. It's not that. It's because of what you send out there. Some people say it's what you send out to the universe. I say it's because of how you operate. When we were growing up, there were some women, as even when I was in my teens, there were some women, as bad as I think I was, and full of lyrics. Some women I wouldn't approach them because from how I see them, how they operate, the face when them. I said, no, stop me now, trouble that one there. And there were some that were so spiritual that you say, This is one I always in our spirit, so I mean, I'm about to say nothing to she. You understand? So it's you have to portray yourself in a particular way, and then a particular caliber of persons will be attracted to you and will approach you. As a matter of fact, the higher you go and the more you go shed the persons on the lower plane, the higher you go, there are some people that will not come up there with you.
So true. Exactly so. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you. So how for the male, we don't want to be biased. For the male, how did the man identify that this is a wife material? This is something or someone that is of that I want to be with. How do they make that decision? Since they're always seeing and hunting and praying.
All right. Truth be told is, since week I was sharing my experience um, with somebody about myself and Janet, and I said Janet was my friend for a while before I even thought about her being my wife. So for those who know me, I used to go to West Green Church. Used to leave because I was living just up the road from King's Chapel. Used to leave West Green, come to King's Chapel at night because our church would be over in the nights like by 9:30, 10, and King's Chapel would be going up till 1 o'clock. So we would leave our church, take a taxi, stop at King's Chapel gate and there for tarrying service, worshiping and railing. And in the midst of it, you know, you would meet persons. Janet was somebody who was my friend, and one of the things is that we connected as friends, and when I had problems and issues, even with other girls, I would be talking to her about it. And I remember one night going home from church, myself and about 4 or 5 others, and I was saying, you see, when I get married and I do something and it stress out my wife, I would just hold on for her hand. And Janet was the closest person to me, and I grabbed onto Janet's hand and I said, I would just start to sing to her like this. And I started to sing a song. And not knowing that seriously, Janet would actually end up being my wife. But I remembered this thing about me is that whenever I meet a lady, on quick time, I would know if she would be somebody that would be considered. Within a week or two, I would know within myself if she's somebody that I would consider to be a wife. What I did, I said to the Lord, if before we start like her and she's not my wife, mash it down. So just make it stop. And over the years, it always happens until people used to say me bad because they would hear me say, I'm interested in somebody, and in quick succession, they hear that it's not working again. But that was how me and God work out. When I found out that I started to like Janet, I said, all right, God, do your thing. 2 weeks passed, 1 month passed, 2 months passed, and instead of things breaking, things were getting closer and closer and closer. And believe me, we went through courtship, marriage, courtship, engagement, and marriage without nothing. It was just like nothing one argument really. And as I said to people, most arguments we have had is after our children were born. Then we start to have, me have my way, we think they should be dealt with, and she have her way. So it ended up. But the truth is, um, as a man, what you're looking for, of course, don't fool yourself. If you are not attracted to a woman physically, leave her alone. I don't matter how spiritual she be, I don't matter how intelligent she be, I don't matter how much money she have. If you are not attracted to her physically, leave her alone because you are setting up yourself to give her a bun after you get married. Because when you get married and when you go in, and as me said, the fire was supposed to did they? Not did they? I'm sorry. You go look out the road to catch something. So it doesn't matter what she has to offer you. No matter how much money and intellect and whatever. If you're not physically attracted to her, let her. Not touch her. Do not. So one of the main criteria, different from seeking the Lord for direction as to who. And again, in the same breath, it can't be that you're just attracted to her physically alone. If it's physical attraction alone, you go in a problem because when you out that physical attraction fire and the fire of marriage start, cause Annabella Rose, and who married no. And when the other issues start, and you now go want, and every day you go get up and want um be involved in sexual activities.
You're
Yes,
wrong,
maybe the first.
that's right. Yeah.
No, 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 no. There are days when problems start, you don't even remember. Say, well, start
When
pardon
you
me
look
language, one
up
cocoa bread there. Not
fire,
even remember, say, one cocoa bread there right beside you there, so yes,
yes,
because I
true.
stress. Yes, yes. Sorry on the pardon me, man, me language, but that's just how it is.
It's
You
true.
don't remember,
It's true.
but you make sure above everything, especially a man. That's what the Bible says. He a man. And if God define it, the wife for you. You make sure though you seek God for direction to find somebody that will help to enhance you in every aspect in your life. Because them say this behind, I say this side. Where I am today in every aspect of my life is because God helped me to choose a woman who has helped me in every. She has made me look nice. I mean, this is a man that me never look so when I'm just married. She has made me look nice, I
Wow.
know.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, she has helped to enhance me. Yes, yeah,
I tell Dennis
that's
all
just
the
how it is.
time. I tell him saying we make it get fat. Don't take care of it, yeah, like get
Yeah, yeah, yes,
fat. But it's true. And even the point where you mentioned, because it's true. It's one of the things that I look back and I say, my God, I remember when I was courting and all of that, I was like, oh God, help me. This fire is just so burning. I feel like
yeah,
I can't wait.
and
And then
yeah.
you say, oh my God, can you imagine you get married, you could know that that fire could cool? Like
Oh, oh, yeah.
you have it right here, like you're like, okay,
Yeah.
you can go on 2 more
And
days, you're not ready yet.
you know,
And
you,
you're down at your court, you know, whatever, when you don't have anybody's, oh my God, you say, oh my, when I get married every night, it's like,
oh Lord,
I
of
get like,
Capleton
oh,
can't. You remember
I just
Capleton? You remember Capleton fire stand can't cool. Yeah,
can't
your piece of when that go happen. Your piece of that ain't go happen. Oh
say,
no, it
honest
cool.
to God, yeah. I've had that conversation with myself. And I said, oh my God, I couldn't believe that time. And I said, oh my God. You think about it and say, oh Lord, this a fire can go cool. I'm going to have it every
Mm,
night. And then you
yeah.
realize that you have different things on your mind. It's like, okay, you have it.
Yes,
You don't,
life happens.
you don't need to rush that, man. You can stay there until you
Life,
start.
life.
Yeah,
There's a vital point that I want to share with especially the singles. The married woman would already know this, and the married men. There's a saying that says that when a woman gets married, all she wants is for she wants to change her husband. She wants him to change. So there are some ways in him that she just wants her husband to change. And most women end up in problem because they believe in their head that they can change. So you would see certain things that will tell you that guess what? Listen, my lady, don't go into this marriage. Because you can't go, no, I can change him. That's the misconception that most women have that I can change him. And the truth is, after 20 years, Janet, I said, we can't believe me I talk to the same man about the same thing. 20 years, me I talk about this exact same thing, and you
yeah,
can't change. That us men, we not change. Sorry,
yeah.
we not. There are some things about us that we are not going to change. That's just us. Now, hear the thing. For men, we wish the same woman we carry home the same night when we married, that she would remain that same nice woman with anything I tell him say, and her shape and everything would remain the same. But sorry, man, you don't want everything, but I can guarantee you that every woman changes. She evolves. Sometimes Janet say, but you not keep track. I don't like them or something anymore. I mean, I say, but well, last year I like them. You don't like them again. So you have to go find out this year what she like.
I should
And you have to
like,
constantly find out because she's constantly, as she get older, she changing. And
yeah,
most of us as men, we end up being lost because we wife gone. Ian's ahead of us, and we still there for the belief that she still like the color blue. Because if
Yes.
we when married, when we married, a blue she went like, she don't
Mm,
like blue anymore.
yeah. So
Blue is not what she loves something totally different. And as I said, it's not just her thought process. Everything about the woman changes. Worse when she have one baby. It is even worse. She changes, she evolves. So guess what? You have in your have the mindset that listen, there are some things about Chinese, no matter how you no matter you preach. You could have preached until in
it,
a just going still.
it is true, and as you mentioned that it is true, and I had to reach a point where I said to myself, okay, you have to be logical about this thing. What were, because all of the signs that you're gonna see them from the initial stage most of the time. You
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, when
Yep.
we marry that we mellow, we can deal with that we fix.
Oh
Until you realize they come up back and you're like, oh my God, I had to reach that place consciously when we say, okay, you know that we had this from before. So
yeah.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
for a peaceful life and for things work, I'm gonna have to accept that this is the flaw and me I gonna just know say when it come up, me know say it and I'm gonna deal with it. Because it's true, it's the same thing every
Yep.
time. And it's almost 10
Yep.
years. It's the
Yep.
same issue over and over and over.
Over again. You what make you come in can leave your shoes. Make how much time you have to tell us take up. And we really want to do it sometime now, me I tell you, but it's like you now remember you really we can't recognize in our ears so we the children say, do
And
God,
that
let
you
me
do it
remember
again.
not to do this.
You're not doing
Let
it,
me
but
not
you
do
don't
this
want it
again.
nice. So what you want? You don't want it nice,
No,
so you're
it's
not
just that
doing it, but you're trying to pretend.
we're not remembering sometimes. And by sometimes the area they come and we run go do it, it's too late already. And sometimes we don't remember. But that's just how it is.
Mm-mm.
We listen, as I said, most times as men, we are not, we're not going to change. We are going to remain as, let's say remain as is. Yes, that's it.
Mm-mm. I tell you, it is so true. It is so true. I'm trying to remember a point that you mentioned that I wanted to say something, but we're gonna move on because I think it suits me. Uh, so those are some of the things, and then now we want to know what are some of the signs to know that he or she is the one.
All
Because
right. From early out there has to be a connection. Mentally, physically, and for us as men, especially sexually. And I'm going to ask, I want to throw a question out there. You know, people have this thing that they say, boy, I'm not going to marry no pushing a bag. And suppose, especially the female, suppose
yeah,
when me married to him, boy, in no use, and there are lots of questions that are being asked. But I would say, if God be God, and He's the one that will tell you that you are supposed to live clean and holy and pure. Why would God allow you? Because I mean, I tell you, say, most persons who end up in certain issues, they were given warnings. Don't go down that lane. Don't are you still insisted that you want to go down there? And can I be candid? If a
yeah,
man loves you and he's not married to you, and he comes in your presence and at no time over the period of time that you are courting, and I'm not propagating you to go and doing any sexual act because one thing can lead to the other. But you're supposed to see signs as a woman. If you're not seeing no sign, the Bible says these signs shall follow. And if you that go out with this man and he love you over a period of time and he attracted to you, and you never look so and see not look like any resurrection taking place, well, you
yeah.
walk away from that man because something wrong somewhere. No, I'm serious and I'm just being candid. Yeah, something wrong
Yes,
somewhere. If you can be in a presence and he's saying love you and I want to be with you, and you never, unless him and Lazarus and, and Jesus not reach yet. I'm sorry, I'm just
but
being
it's
honest.
true. It is true. It is true. And why I'm laughing too is something that I always ask Janice in the initial stage when we were friends and stuff. We always say, how is it that me never see? Me never see no impression like anything I go on. But as we get closer to when we cement and we have we engage and we don't see, we don't start see.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you have to. It's a must.
so me can
Yeah.
understand. You were doing such a
Yeah.
good hiding it. Hiding it.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, you must see signs. These signs shall follow.
Follow
Yeah.
them. There must be a
So
sign.
yeah, these signs. Yeah.
Yes, sign. There
So
must.
so 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 the whole aspect of um choice making and all of that, it's still, as Christian, it's going to boil down to you allowing God to be a part of the making of this choice. That means, like Adam, the woman that you gave me, you can go back to God, because, sorry man, 99% of the time when the things are not right with the family, you are to be blamed. When I tell people that, sometimes they don't like to hear, but you are the priest and you are the head. You get the word from God and you send the word to the wife, and the wife send it down to the children. So if a people get the problem, they need to talk to the wife. And then the wife come talk to you, and then you talk to God, and God filter back down to you what's supposed to happen, how you deal with it, and you deal with the wife and the children, and that is it. And I'm not saying that the children can't make choices to go differently and you can't do nothing about it. But as a unit, as a family, you have a responsibility. And I know I'm going on a totally different level now, but as a man, you have a responsibility to keep your family together. You're the priest, you're the provider, you're the protector. Yep, that's you.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And as we are getting ready to close, there's just one more point that we want to hit on. I want you to
Mhm,
leave some tips with the audience, whether when they're seeking love, so they will be single,
mhm, mhm.
on how to really find true love. And if there's, you think true love is still out there?
Yes, it is. And it's not you find it, it's fine. And most time when it happens is when you're not. I have a little tip. Most time when you're going to, especially as a Christian, is when you stop looking. If you're hunting, if you're seeking, and if you're desperate, 99% of the time nothing will happen. And most people will tell you is that when they give up and say, no, what, forget about this, I'm going to seek God. And that's the time when it happens. Boom, it just happens. So guess what? The Bible again, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, its righteousness. I would tell you that it's not that you're going to lock yourself away and you're going to say, you're going to put up the big sign on every page where you have WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, unavailable. I'm locked
Mm,
away with Jesus. No, I didn't say you must say that. And also, if you're gonna put it up there to make everybody know, say, well, I am looking, so please, I'm waiting, so please come. No. What you are going to do is that you are going to make sure that you live your best life as a whole person. Because contrary to what a lot of people say, it's not half and half make one. It's one whole person. And if you're not whole, that's God's math. Man's math say half and half make one. God say one and one. And if you're not whole, going into the marriage, if you're a half a person waiting for somebody, if you're half a person waiting on somebody to make you whole, you're in a problem. You have to be a whole person. Accept yourself, accept who you are. If you're pretty like Sister Samantha, God bless you. If you're not so pretty like Brother Gerald, God bless you anyway. But make sure that you accept who you are. That means that when you get into the marriage and problems start, you don't think it's because I have my financial status. It's because your husband left you and you say, boy, I never feel so pretty enough. So because I'm not pretty enough, make him left me. It's the man say, "Ah, because I never have enough money, make she left me." And you will find every single fault. We make sure that if and it will actually become a problem in your marriage. So guess what? So guess what? Make sure that you are whole. Make sure you know God for yourself. Make sure more than anything else, you live your single life to its fullest. What me just say? Make sure you live your single life to its fullest. I am tired of seeing, especially married men, still trying to live like them single. You're not single again, boss. You're
yeah.
married. enjoy, go at camp, everything where they happen now, go. I mean, yes, COVID has stopped certain things, but enjoy your single life. And guess what? When you get into marriage, you will live a married life. And you won't worry about doing things that you should be doing as a single person. I did enjoy my single life to the fullest. I had no regrets. And I really thank the Lord. So, 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 uh, before I come off the platform, I just really want to say thanks to you, Sister Samantha, for giving me this time that I can just share just a few tidbits as and I do hope everyone that heard can pick something out of it and it can actually help them. If you're single, when you get married, some of the things that you hear, it will come back to your remembrance. And if you're married, you can think about what you heard and do to help your marriage. The Lord bless you.
Thank you so much for being here too. Thank you so much, audience. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Shout out and big up yourself. I see a whole lot of face of persons commenting that I know. My mom is there, Alicia Wright, Shanique Grant, Aretha, less than highly favored Khadija, Jia, I'm not sure which another Jia. That is Shanique or Sandra Cunningham and the real Nikki Fab. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Remember to share on your page so that others can know about this program. And also for the network. On Friday, I have Friday Vibes in 5, just 5 minutes, and sometimes it's shorter than that. Of Friday Vibes in 5. You don't want to miss that, as we say, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Just a little motivation. And on Sunday, I post videos for people sharing their testimonies from being broken to be blessed and other things that persons have shared. I want to start. I haven't uploaded any Sunday video, I think about 2 weeks now, but I want to get back to that. So please subscribe. For next week, Wednesday, we're not gonna have a Wisdom Wednesday live. It's spring break, and I'm gonna be enjoying my spring break. So you won't, but we'll see you the following week. So thank you again. Remember to subscribe. Thank you again, Mr. Stewart, for being here. Thank you again, everyone, and have yourself a wonderful rest of the night. Bye bye.
God bless. Take care.